thejbeans.net.
Mahogany Bay is a cruise port in Roatan, Honduras that was developed specifically for Carnival Corporation ships, including Carnival, Holland America, and Princess. Renamed Isla Tropicale by Carnival in April 2025, the destination features a full beach area, shopping, restaurants, and plenty to do without ever leaving the cruise port. In this video, we'll take you on a tour of our January 2025 visit to Mahogany Bay before the name change, and share everything we experienced while docked aboard the Carnival Venezia. Just a quick note that if you enjoy this video, please give us a thumbs up or leave a comment. It really helps our channel. And consider subscribing so you get alerted when we add new videos. Mahogany Bay is one of 2 cruise ports in Roatan, Honduras. Cox and Hole is the other port, and it's used by non-Carnival cruise lines, including Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, MSC, and others. We visited Cox and Hole in 2019, so if your cruise is docking there, be sure to check out our video from that visit. Before disembarking for your day in Mahogany Bay, we recommend heading to the top of your ship to get an overview of the area. Looking from left to right, you'll see the shopping area, a tree-filled area that has the main walking path, the pedestrian bridge to the beach area island, and finally, the beach area. The view is a great way to judge the walk to the beach and decide whether you want to walk or take the chairlift. After getting an overview of Mahogany Bay, we exited our ship and headed to the port entrance. A little before the entrance, we passed through a security checkpoint. A sign on our ship reminded guests to bring their sail and sign card and a government-issued photo ID. When we returned to the ship, the pier checkpoint only asked to see our sail and sign card. However, if you leave the cruise port area, you may need to show your photo ID to be allowed back in. Just past the checkpoint, there was a large Mahogany Bay welcome sign photo op near the duty-free shop at the port entrance. Inside the shop, there were duty-free items, souvenirs, snacks, drinks, and more. As we exited the shop, we followed the wide paved path towards the shopping area. The most common route to Mahogany Beach followed this path through the shopping area, continued along a stone paver pathway, then crossed the pedestrian bridge to the beach area. The walk from the duty-free shop to the beach area along this route was about 1/3 of a mile, or roughly 600 meters. Along the way, a gravel nature trail branched off and provided a shaded, peaceful walk to the beach. However, the trail had some steep sections and loose gravel, which made it difficult for guests with mobility concerns. If you're comfortable taking the nature trail, there was a secret shortcut that connected directly to the trail and shortened the total walk to about 1/4 mile, or roughly 400 meters. To access the shortcut, make a U-turn after exiting the duty-free shop and walk along the side of the building to the sign indicating the nature trail. Just be aware that the shortcut was a bit steeper than the main trail, and it also included some steps. Back on the main path, we continued toward the port's shopping area. Along the way, we passed a large Mahogany Bay Roatan sign. The sign was a popular photo op early in the day, but it was much less crowded later. There were also many other Mahogany Bay and Mahogany Beach signs scattered throughout the port. The port's shopping area included well-known cruise port stores like Del Sol, Caraloha, and Diamonds International. The area also had local stores, a craft market, a Fat Tuesday restaurant, and more. Right where the pathway opened up into the shopping area, there was a designated meeting point for most ship-sponsored shore excursions, with signs indicating where to check in. Within the shopping area, a large pavilion marked the entrance to the transportation hub. Inside, a 15 years Mahogany Bay sign was available for a photo op, and an Avis rental counter was available for vehicle rentals. Just beyond the pavilion, the walkway led to the transportation area, with taxis located on the left and vans and buses located on the right. The entrance to Extreme Zip Line Adventure was also located on the right. Several signs displayed a map of Roatan's taxi zones, with pricing and estimated drive times. Zone A, the closest zone, was priced per taxi for up to 4 people. However, zones B through E were all priced per person with a minimum of 2 passengers. Back near the Shore Excursions meeting spot, there were several more points of interest to be aware of. An information desk was available for guests who needed assistance. A small kiosk sold daily Wi-Fi access for $5 and also rented GoPro cameras for $25. A cultural display shared information on a local group of people with signs describing aspects of their food, villages, and history. And another cultural display included information about the island's shrimping heritage, with a replica shrimp boat. Hand washing stations with sinks, soap, and paper towels were located throughout the shopping area. According to a sign, more than a dozen stations were available. Mahogany Bay's magical flying beach chair was located near the southern end of the shopping area. All-day passes were sold at a nearby booth for $15 per person. When we arrived around 10 a.m., a couple dozen people were in line at the ticket booth, and about 40 to 50 people were waiting for the chairlift. Mist sprayers were set up to keep guests cooled off while they waited. In addition to selling chairlift passes, the booth also offered equipment rentals. However, a rental hut at the beach area offered the same equipment with a much shorter line. Continuing past the chairlift, we walked under the large Mahogany Beach sign and followed the stone paver pathway toward the beach. Along the way, we saw a few large hammock swings for relaxing. We also noticed that the chairlift operated at about the same pace as we were walking, especially when taking into account the chairlift's occasional loading stops. A little ways along the pathway, the nature trail branched off with a shaded, scenic detour. The trail had wooden benches, a few shaded rest areas with wooden swing benches under a thatched roof shelter, and multiple photo spots, including one with a circular wooden structure framing our ship in the background. While the nature trail offered a nice break from the sun, it wasn't suitable for guests with mobility concerns due to steep sections, loose gravel, and tree roots along the path. After reconnecting with the main pathway, we walked under another large Mahogany Beach sign and crossed the pedestrian bridge to the beach area. From the bridge, we had a nice view of our ship and the chairlift. As we reached the end of the bridge, the water sports rental pickup area was visible along the water to our left. The equipment could be rented at the chairlift ticket booth or at the rental hut near the beach. Continuing toward the beach area, a large sign was available for a photo op with our ship in the background. The sign usually had a short line of people waiting, but a second sign was available at the end of a narrow, easy-to-miss path located to the right of the first sign. The second sign wasn't quite as picturesque, but it was far less crowded, and it was barely visible from the right side of the pedestrian bridge. From the signs, we passed through a shopping pavilion that had 2 stores. Beach Life sold swimsuits and swim gear, and Seashells sold souvenirs. Restrooms were available inside the pavilion, and a foot washing station was located just outside. After quite a bit of walking, we finally reached the beach area. Mahogany Beach stretches across approximately 700 feet, or roughly 200 meters, of shoreline. With calm water and soft sand, it was ideal for a relaxing beach day. The chairlift dropped guests off just steps from the water, making it easy for riders to head straight from their seat to the shore. The overall area had a nice tropical feel, with a good mix of palm trees and shaded areas. The beach had many lounge chairs available. However, the northern end, which is the first area you reach, had a lot of clamshells set up for rent. And since the clamshells were situated closer to the shoreline, the view of the water from the lounge chairs was completely obstructed. We simply continued along the pathway to the southern end of the beach, where there were plenty of loungers with a nice view of the sand and the ocean. Midway along the beach, the massage hut offered full-body massages for 1 hour for $70 US, or a back and shoulders massage for 30 minutes for $45 US. At the southernmost end of the beach, a wooden pier extended into the water, and a ladder provided easy access to an area for snorkeling. Although we didn't snorkel during our visit, the pier's lifeguard told us the area was full of reefs and marine life. So if you enjoy snorkeling, you might want to bring your gear or consider renting some at the beach. Outdoor showers were available in a few spots around the beach area, making it easy to rinse off before heading back to the ship. There were also a few fun photo ops scattered throughout the beach area, including colorful turtle sculptures, a friendly-looking alligator, a few small boats with silly names, and an "I wish I could stay here forever" sign. Behind the beach, several points of interest were located along the pathway that ran the full length of the beach area. The beach rental hut was located near the shopping pavilion. Behind the hut, a beach volleyball court, half basketball court, and a beach soccer area were available. A bit further along the pathway, there were a few restaurants, including one featuring Caribbean jerk chicken and another featuring lobster. Changing rooms were located behind the jerk chicken restaurant, with a sign posted on a nearby palm tree, pointing the way. Just past the restaurants, Wanderlust Roatan offered fish pedicures starting at $15 US for 10 minutes. Behind the structure, there was a small wooden playground, as well as a large plastic chess set. At the end of the pathway, El Hideaway was a lively restaurant that was popular with the crew. In addition to food and drinks, the restaurant had a few games and a DJ playing upbeat music. Several shaded picnic tables were available with a nice view of the nearby beach. For guests looking to upgrade their Mahogany Bay experience, there were 2 premium options available for an additional fee. The Blue Lagoon area was located at the northernmost end of the beach, near the shopping pavilion. Inside the fenced-off area, guests could relax on cushioned loungers or stretch out on thatched roof daybeds. The area also included access to a semi-private beach. Cabana rentals were located toward the southern end of the beach, near the swim pier and El Hideaway. The air-conditioned cabanas included cable TV, a refrigerator stocked with snacks and drinks, cushioned loungers, shaded seating, and more. All of the cabanas had access to a semi-private beach.